is Venus just smaller and closer and in front of the moon right here? Or is the moon transparent and we're seeing through it to Venus? This photograph was taken last week. It is Venus through the moon. Through the moon. It reminds us of certain patterns on flags we've seen before. I figured everyone would be covering this, so I didn't bother. But I haven't seen anyone covering it yet. But either Venus is little bitty and in front of the moon, or the moon is just transparent and we're seeing Venus through the moon, which we should never be able to see Venus anyway. It's orbiting closer to the sun, supposedly, and anytime it's night, we're on the side facing away from the sun, right? In this model. So Venus is orbiting closer. It'll always be behind the ball of Earth. So that's at least 2 impossibilities in one photo. How many more impossibilities can you think about when it comes to the heliocentric model of Earth? Is it what we've been told?
Dude, have y'all ever wondered why the United Nations map looks like this right here? You see what I'm saying? Why is it a map like that? And why is it not like a globe map? I know you can't put a globe right here, but to me it looks almost like it's the flat earth map. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to figure out why, why they do things like this. It just kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Anyways, man. You see what I mean right here? Here's how it looks, man. So I can't quite figure it out, because if you look right here, they say it's got an ice wall all the way around it, and this is the flat earth map. So why would they have the same, appearing to be the same looking kind of map? Did y'all see the moon landing situation that just happened, dude? That's pretty neat stuff, wasn't it? Especially, dude, the quality of the camera footage as it's going. You can see the moon spinning and it's going, or whatever we were seeing. Really cool stuff, wasn't it? Y'all have a good day.
So if I was to ask you if we're on a flat earth or on a big round ball, what would you say? Well, before, I don't know, a couple years ago, I would say, I don't know, man, probably a big round ball. But I was watching TikTok one day and saw a video about flat earth and thought, maybe there's something to that. I started watching it, and the more I looked into this stuff, the more I believed. And wholeheartedly, I believe we're on a flat earth. I believe in the firmament. Did we land on the moon? No. I think the whole NASA stuff and all that stuff is a bunch of made up crap to get money, is what I believe. I think it's all just a big old lie, in my opinion. You know, and I'll say this. The moment that I started believing into flat earth, it felt as though I became closer to God, and that's the truth. It's almost like I uncovered a secret or something that I was supposed to uncover. But I definitely believe, because the Bible says the 4 corners, and I know people can explain that any way they want to. My belief wholeheartedly, we're on flat earth. True story.
We all know that the theory of gravity has made us all be programmed to believe that water can bend. And I can show you now that the mark of the devil is also all over the gravitational theory. See, Google tells us that Isaac Newton published the theory of gravity in 1687, but when did he actually come up with it? He first thought of his system of gravitation, which he hit upon observing an apple fall from a tree. The event occurred in the late summer of 1666. So there it is, guys. They tried to hide it, but Isaac Newton thought of the gravitational theory in 1666. And they literally tell us in plain sight. The first ever Apple logo was a picture of Isaac Newton sitting under the tree in 1666. And once again, guys, the mark of the devil will always be there. The first ever Apple device sold for $666.66. They use symbolism all over this realm. You've literally just got to have the eyes to see it. The list is literally endless. Why is it that weather balloon footage is always a horizontal horizon with what somewhat seems a local sun? The local, not 93 million mile away sun that can be pictured within the clouds. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but even the reflection on the water from the sun is proof that that's not 93 million miles away. But with all the proof of the weather balloon footage being a flat horizontal horizon, and the numerous amateur non-edited footage of the sun being within the clouds all over the internet, what about the fact that we can literally see the moon and the sun both together in the sky, midday, near enough every day? Like, you're not telling me there's a total lunar eclipse every day in the Pacific Ocean or New Zealand, let's say. Come on, guys. I think this is like ultimate proof to me now that the globe is just a hoax. The ball of impossibility can't be true. This is the third day in the row I've been able to capture the sun and the moon midday in the sky. This is 2:20, about 10 minutes ago. The sun and the moon in the sky. Now notice how the sun is completely covered by a haze of cloud. You know? And look how there is just a crisscross of contrails over the moon. Surely in a few hours, the moon's going to be covered as much as the sun is right there. You know? But why can we see the sun and the moon in the sky together midday, UK of England, 3 days in a row? Can anyone confirm what this might be, guys? Because I can't find anything online other than other people's videos with the same image. This photo was literally taken in the northwest of England on the 1st of March when we were having the new moon. And it was absolutely mesmeric but scary at the same time. We had a huge, big, thick, black cloud. Half the sky was light and half the sky was black with 2 stars in the sky. And here's another photo that someone else took. Absolutely mesmeric, but what is it? I can't find this phenomenon online whatsoever. I'ma tag this guy to let him know that I was seeing the exact same thing in the UK. If anyone else can tag their videos or evidence of this happening in their area, let us know, because we're trying to deeply find out what was going on in our skies on the 1st of March. I am pretty sure that everyone is aware that this horizon that everybody sees is the 8" per square mile curvature. You know, the reason why we have a vanishing point to our perspective is because of the curvature, right? You know, what about aeroplanes then? The nose of a plane does not dip down to account for the Earth's curve. The plane flies in a pressure medium and the instruments maintain altitude relative to the pressure system. Basically, that's telling you that a plane never has to take account for curvature because the atmosphere just pulls it round the curve. Put it this way, if we were on a curve that curves on a ball in every direction for an 8" square mile radius, we would have to dip an aeroplane every few minutes with the speed that an aeroplane goes. But no, pilots do not take any adjustments to account for the Earth's curvature during a flight. And Google basically tells you that if you go above the average flight height, which most people can't do, i.e. 35,000 feet, then you'll be able to see curvature. But what about the weather balloons that go to 100,000 feet? You must have a little bit of cognitive dissonance if you think that these weather balloons show you curvature.
So, do you guys remember when Neil deGrasse Tyson said this weird thing about gravity?
Is gravity.
I have no idea. Okay, next question.
Wow.
No, here's the difference. We can describe gravity. We can say what it does to other things. We can measure it, predict with it. But when you start asking, like, what it is, I don't know.
So did I accidentally ask a deeper question than I meant to?
Yeah, no, you were meant to ask deep questions.
Apparently I was.
In life. So, to say, what is it? I think Einstein, in an Einsteinian answer, we would say gravity is the curvature of space and time. And objects will follow the curvature of space-time, and we interpret that as a force of gravity.
Oh yeah, dude just had to say curvature. So gravity is the curvature of space and time. Why don't you just look up gravity? It's actually a theory and there is no way to prove it or measure it, but we can observe it. But we cannot observe it in the microcosm. Nowhere on Earth do we find large rocks forcing small rocks to orbit around them. But we see it in our solar system, which is all CGI. Now, don't you find it just a little bit fishy that we have had countless explorers circumnavigate our globe east to west or west to east, but we have never, ever had anyone circumnavigate north to south or south to north on our globe? Now, why is that? Why is it that no one can cross over Antarctica and then come back on the other side? Well, I have a theory. Our Earth is flat, the center of our realm is north, And the source of our magnetism is at the North Pole. It is not the center of our globe, like the elites say. Now just think about it. If the center of our globe is supposedly the source of the magnetism, which is primarily molten iron and nickel, then wouldn't it lose its magnetism because it's melted iron and nickel? Because if you melt a magnetic solid, it loses its magnetism. And the deepest hole ever dug was 7.6 miles. So, we've never seen the Earth's core. How do we know the truth? Up here are 2 videos of the sunlight shining through water. And down here are videos of real stars and planets captured from a Nikon P1000. Now, doesn't the Bible always say this one thing? The waters above? Now, I know a lot of people say the Bible is just a bunch of archaic mumbo-jumbo, but let's read this. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and that they turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. So, not only does it mention the firmament, but it says that the stars are turning forever and ever. Remember that video where I pointed out the wheel in the sky keeps on turning? Yeah. All of these references to flat Earth are within songs, within movies. You see it all over Hollywood. And you see it in all of the old textbooks. The old encyclopedia showing a flat Earth. Before the United Nations was founded, we knew. But after the United Nations was founded, suddenly the Earth is a globe, even though you can look at the sun and see that it is nothing like the other stars. You won't believe what I just found while frolicking around at the geographic South Pole. Oh yeah, a Freemasonic compass and square. Now, why would they have a compass and square in Antarctica? That's a little bit fishy. So why don't we ask ChatGPT what a compass is used for in geometry? Well, it's used for drawing circles and arcs. Circles and arcs. Doesn't that ring a little bell within your mind? It definitely rings a bell within mine. Because if it's drawing circles and arcs, the circle of the Earth, the arc, the dome, the firmament that the Bible speaks of. And the Freemasons absolutely love their compass and square. In fact, they worship it during their sausage parties. So why would they be worshiping it? Well, geo in Latin means earth. Geometry? Huh. That's very interesting. It's not like the United Nations has a circle that is their Earth. Weird. A typical commercial airliner cruises at a solid 530 miles per hour. That being said, if you were to hop in a commercial airliner and fly from California to Hawaii, then you should actually arrive there way faster than if you were to hop in a commercial airliner in Hawaii and fly from there to California. And why is that? Well, that's because our globe is supposedly rotating at 1,000 miles per hour on its equator, and it's rotating east to west. So that means that if you are flying from California to Hawaii, then you would be going against the rotation of the Earth. So you should land in Hawaii extremely fast, because the Earth is spinning so fast. But if you are flying from Hawaii to California, then good luck catching up with the Earth's rotation. Now, people like to say that all of the air is just rotating simultaneously with the Earth. But think about hurricanes and tornadoes and all of the different wind drafts and currents that we have in our atmosphere. I'm not sure that makes much sense to me. So why is it that the Chinese spacewalk is the only spacewalk where they left their fisheye lens back on Earth? I mean, you can watch all of the spacewalks from the Russian agencies, from the European ones, from NASA, and it's a big spinning potato. But then when you watch the Chinese spacewalk, it's a mysteriously flat plane. Now, how could this possibly be? Are the flat earthers on to something? And have you thought about this? Not a single image or video of a rocket ship in outer space is not CGI. That's right. Yeah, we have real footage of rockets shooting up into the atmosphere, but they always follow an arched trajectory and then go back down. And yeah, we have real videos of rockets, kind of high up, but never in space. We don't have any real videos of rockets in space. Apparently we've been to Mars a million times, but we don't have any high-def footage. That's just something to think about. All of these images are different. How is that possible? It's the same planet. This is a video of the Blue Ghost apparently exploring the moon's surface from 64 miles above it. Now, I'm just gonna say right now that this literally looks like I'm playing Call of Duty Zombies. It looks like an animation. But let's give it the benefit of the doubt and say that it's not an animation. So there's a few things to pick at. The moon that we see in our night sky, if we zoom in with binoculars or with a nice phone, we can see that the craters do not match the craters that we just saw in that video. That's quite interesting. And the moon gives off such a powerful light at nighttime, but then when we land on it, it's dark and dim and gloomy. And did you know that the law of reflection quite literally dictates that all of the light reflecting off of a sphere contains in one spot? The moon does not do that. And let's just say that the Earth is a sphere. You know how we see moonlight and sunlight walking across the water? Well, the light should be contained in one spot if the Earth is actually a sphere. It should not walk across the water. And we should not be able to see ships that disappeared below curvature just by zooming in on the horizon.
The flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Idialenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.